Hey everybody, welcome back to Game Dev Tycoon. Let's pause this game quick. So, we are below 1,000,000. And I have to admit, I have been getting a little bit worried about how this game actually functions. We have released some decently reviewed games in the past. Let's see. No. The Divine Knighthood 2, that was a pretty decently rated game, but it didn't sell nearly as well as other games that have come close to that when I worked on my own. So I took a look at the wiki to figure out what this game bases score on. And what I found out is that the review score is irrelevant. It might as well not even be part of the game. It's so pointless. No, the main score is your top score when you're developing games. That's why I believe it is. A lot of people have actually really went into this game and figured out how it ticks, and let's go ahead and start developing a new game. We're going to make a small game, since we're kind of low on budget. And see, our last game was a dance game, so let's go ahead and do a sci-fi action game. We're going to call it Battle Bots. And we're going to release it on the Game Link and target it for young audiences. And the engine, we're going to go with Fantasy Mark II. Now, you want good graphics. Basically, you want to have as much stuff into a system as you can, because there's pretty much no point in having nothing. I also learned from the wiki that these sliders are garbage. It's this slider you need to worry about. Because even though I have absolutely nothing here on story and quest, it's still developing 10% of time. I also learned that it doesn't matter what kind of game you have, the more of these things you have clicked on, the more points you're going to generate towards your game. And the more points you have generated towards your game, the more likely it is you're going to sell a bunch. I'm going to go ahead and take joystick off. One other thing is I have also learned is that engine is one of the main things. Engine is mainly tech. Story and quest is mainly design. And gameplay is kind of a balance of both. You also do not want to have these things all the way up. You want to give them some leeway, some free time, if you will. So let's go ahead and see what we end up with. See, now the bubbles that you saw popping up that had different numbers, the different numbers represent the basic amount of work you're putting into something, plus numbers that are added based on how much these additions cost. Let's go ahead and do this. There. It's still a little bit hard to judge what these sliders are. I wish that they gave you a number. Just any number at all that told you percentages. And then we will do that, that, and that, and I think we will make a good game based on what I've read. I'm just guessing right now. I don't know if I'm actually right. It's not a well-balanced game, unfortunately. Let's finish it and we'll see how well it does. If I'm over 1 million when it's done selling, then I've done it right. But we have achieved a new record in technology, so I think we're doing good so far. And here's another part that I don't like about the game I have discovered. The salary. This guy's salary is $34,000 a month. How much is that a year? Let's find out. Let's see. 34 times 12. That's $408,000 a year. He earns nearly $500,000 a year. That is more than this company actually makes in a year. Oh, yeah, we scrape by, but... Well, I guess you can't say it's more than the company actually makes in a year, because we do make more than that in a year. But it is almost not balanced at all. Okay, you get out of here, go on vacation. You're expensive. Take a small booth because no one cares about this company anyway. A nice experience. These guys rated it fairly high. So we have really good ratings, and I did pretty much the exact opposite of what I've been doing for making games so far. And now let's see how the sales go. The sales aren't doing that bad. We're ranked 12 in the market. We are getting a lot of money. We're staying pretty consistent. So really, there is very little you can do with this game that actually is logical. It's all about numbers and manipulating the sliders. And that's bad game design. It could be better. It just could be way better. Let's go ahead and get marketing. Although I think marketing doesn't really do much anyway, since the game doesn't actually sell based on how much marketing you do. Yeah, it affects you a little bit, but it's not enough. Let's get multiplayer in there. Let's get transport. $45,000 people showed up at the booth. That's pretty good. It probably generated some hype for the current game. Just enough to keep it floating on the market a little while longer. Alright, so let's make a transport game. We'll target a more mature audience. Actually, we'll target everyone just because it's a transport game. It's not really mature themed. Let's see. Call it a Freight Tycoon game. It's going to be transport themed. It's going to be a medium development game. Now, the main thing that's different between a medium game and a small game is the amount of time you have working on the game. You have about twice as much time to work on a medium game as you do a small game. However, the amount of points you generate towards your design and technology is about the same. You just will get a little bit extra because you have more time to work on it. It's going to be a simulation. Going to develop it for the PC using the Fantasy Mark II. It's going to be an expensive game. And we'll be able to research sequels. Alright, the stuff you generate before you actually start choosing what you're doing with the game is actually because each game has a setup time. And the setup time is different based on how big of a game you are developing. Medium development gives you about a week. So let's see, we'll add joystick support to this as well, just because, you know, joystick, why not? Linear story, why not? We'll develop story for it. Actually, we won't. Simple cutscenes, that works. So let's see, since gameplay is a balance of tech and design, main balance guy goes there. Main design guy goes there, and tech guy. Alright, sorry about that. I had a cough waiting on me. Anyway, so the thing I like about the medium games actually is that you get a percentage right here. And it actually is kind of reflective of how much time you're putting into a certain part. If I put all these down to 0, it's 33%. If I give anyone a little bit more, it becomes 80% because it's actually getting more focus. So if I do this, it's not going to be that great, but I put 20% here and have these two on 40%. We should develop a few decent points in technology. And somehow we got hype. Who's leaking information about my games? Let's go ahead and do a little bit of marketing. Yeah, marketing can be effective to reach more potential. And we'll just do a small marketing campaign. You know, just magazines. That's all we need. It's only a transfer game. You don't need that much. Alright, so artificial intelligence. That is tech. Dialogues, that is design. Level design is tech and design. And we want to balance things out again. Let's see, we will give 20% effort into the AI. Level design will get 40% effort. There. Alright, let's see how this turns out. BattleBots sold 500,000, that's not too bad, I suppose. Alright, and now on to the final part. All this stuff is pretty much all design, with the only exception being graphics. That is a balance of tech and design. A perfect balance, actually. So we'll put Ryan Benson there, we'll put me on the world design, and him there. There. A perfect balance. Everyone gets that 100%. And let's see what this ends up getting. We're developing decent research points. We have pretty good technology, pretty good design. Bonnie is coming out with its own console called the Play System. That's a generic version of PlayStation. Work out the bugs. Hopefully we get more design points. Unfortunately we didn't. Oh, there we go. There's one. And we got new records on both of these. We have new topic, new combo, great combo, good management, almost double the experience points. One thing I don't get is what's the point of leveling up? Does this number reflect anything? Well, I can do special training now. Let's see, I can now do the boost thing, which requires 500 points, but I don't know what that number did for me. The one at the end of the game. I don't really see a difference over here, so it just feels like that number is an imaginary nothing. So let's go ahead and start focusing me on some more research, and we're actually going to fire these two. Why? Because they don't matter. We're going to do game demo. Now here's something else that's interesting. The budget for finding staff. There's actually breaking points. 20,000 is going to guarantee you get 2 applicants. If you spend more than 20,000 up to 80,000, anything below 80,000, you're going to get 2 applicants. And the only difference is how much you have to pay them, their level, their skill. Once you get 80,000, a 3rd applicant will show up. And it goes on like that up to a certain point in which you can get like 6 applicants. Personally, I'm going to go with finding level 1 applicants again because they're cheap and they give exactly what you need. See reviews for Freight Tycoon. It actually was pretty bad. Now, what likely happened here is that it was not quite right for the system. It might not have been targeted for the right audience. Let's see. Ah, here we go. Level 3. You're actually not too expensive, so let's hire you. We'll give you the welcoming training stuff. Look, even though I got kind of bad reviews, I'm still selling pretty close to the same amount as I did for the last game I made. Is that because of marketing? Possibly. Is it the background stuff of the game? That could be too. Let's add mouse support and level editor. Then we'll make a new system. Why? Because it's important to get as much stuff into a game engine as you can. Create a custom engine. Fantasy Mark III. You'll have multiplayer, mouse, character progression, level editor, AI companion. Basically, we're spending all of our money on this. Why would we do that? Because that's what the game wants you to do. People want new topics in their games, so of course they do. Now I'm cutting it dangerously close, mostly because I'm following the advice of the wiki on how you actually play this game. My bank account is in the red, but I can go down to 200,000. At that point I get a loan, and then I will... Basically I'm screwed. Why? Because the game isn't that great. I mean, yeah, I like the game, I love the idea, but they need to patch this game and update it so it's more logic focused than numbers. Let's work with a publishing deal. Okay, so let's see. Capcom wants a horror game, minimum score of 7. So anyone that reviews it below 7, I'll get a penalty. They will give me $105,000 to start with, but it would have to be a medium-sized game. So we actually don't want that because a medium-sized game is kind of spendy for me right now. Everyone wants a medium-sized game. Jeez, you guys are God, you make me mad. Let's try finding contract work. If we're lucky, we will be able to get a decent contract that will get us out of the red. I doubt it, though. Maybe this one will work. Yeah, we're not gonna get out of the red. Then there's also that. Why do people stop, scratch their heads, and produce nothing? We're not gonna go. Sorry. Let's immediately jump on another contract. Keep on doing this until we're out of the red. Although it's not gonna work. We're gonna keep on going further into the red because, well, once you go into the red, you can't stop going into the red. Well, we're screwed. We'll do a space RPG on the Gameling Fantasy Mark III using low graphics, and we're at negative 200,000. We'll add nothing to this game just because we can. I agree. Give me that money. And they will want practically $1 million in return, and it's just not going to work out. See, this is the problem I have with this game. It basically kills you when you get to this part of the game. No, do not sabotage. We are not evil. Basically, once you get to this part of the game, unless you are a master at manipulating sliders, you are not going to make any games that will get you to the next stage of the game. I have not seen a single Let's Play of this game where anyone has moved past this stage. Let's just sit here and develop for a while. I guess we're done. I admit, I really enjoyed this game when I first got it, but after learning that it's not optimized at all, it's just a game someone made simply to deliver an anti-piracy message. I don't like the name. I got perfect 4s. How much does this sell? Oh hey, no particular strong trends. That's great. But yeah, this is the end of my career on this game, so let's make a new game. Yeah, I'm back in the start. And it really upsets me. This game could have been so much more, but it's all tied down to numbers that don't exist because it doesn't give you any feedback. And I've played this game a lot. I mean, a lot, and I never once got past that second stage of the game. Ever. I've made games that had nearly perfect 10 scores, and they sold worse than games that had perfect 7s. How does that make sense? I don't know. Let's see. We're gonna do one of my other online alter ego things. Sinestra. CEO of Syntech. And we're gonna get rid of Excel Corporation because it fell flat on its face as soon as it reached the second stage of the game, like every game playthrough I've done. Let's see. We're going to call this one Gunslinger, because it's going to be a military-based game, and it's going to be a simulation. We're going to do it on the G64. Why the G64? Because there's no point on selling a game simply on a system that's going to live longer. In fact, it rather encourages you to milk a game system that exists while it exists. And we're going to do 2D graphics because better graphics will give me more points. See, if I put this down here and this down here. No. Put this down here. Now there is a little bit more to the sliders than what I've actually been explaining. Let's see, this is 10, so I think about here will be 20%. Yeah, these sliders are just relative. They do not matter. Anyway, there's more to the sliders than what I was talking about. There's also taking into consideration the kind of game you are making. The type of game you're making is affects the sliders slightly. Let's see, AI, that's going to be pretty good for military sim dialogues. I can actually drop down. That's 10%. We'll go up to 20% here. And we'll leave all these at 30%. They mostly affect your design score. Work out the bugs. Now this should be a pretty good game. Why? Because we balance things out a little bit more. Start researching a new topic. We're going to research racing. Yeah, I figured that wouldn't work out very well. I don't really know what to do for a military simulation game. But it still received pretty decent reviews. It will sell a pretty decent amount. It won't be a hit game, but to develop a hit game you have to know exactly which sliders you need to be higher up, and which ones you need lower, for each topic genre combination. Now, things that affect the sliders as well is if you've done a topic twice in a row, if you've done a topic genre combo twice in a row. You don't want to do that, ever. Let's see, 10,000 units, pretty good for the first week. Let's start developing another game. This time we're going to do a space action game on the G64. Why the G64? Bigger share of the market. Simple as that. And we're going to call this Alien Hunter. And I think we can leave this the same because story and quest isn't as important in an action game. I think this one can also stay pretty much the same. Let's see. Yeah, just do the same thing. We'll tweak the last one a little bit though. See, this last one we'll take less in the world design. And it's a much more balanced game as a result. Finish it off. We achieved a new record on design, not on technology. Scores are slightly better. The numbers you see flashing by actually show, like, the range of your game. Like, it already knows which number it's going to give you, but it's going to show you some numbers that go from below to above your number. So if you got a perfect 10 game, you're going to see 10 in there a lot more often. And it'll show like 8 and 9 as flashes. Let's research another new topic just because we can. Alternate history, why not? He likes it, gives me opportunity for contract work again, which the contract work is rather pointless addition to the game. Yeah, it develops you some more research points, but it's completely useless when you are in medium stage, in the second stage of the game. The contracts generally will not balance out cash-wise based on how much money you have to spend on, you know, keeping your company going. Let's develop a new game. Gonna do a medieval RPG on the G64 because bigger market share. So if you can't tell, I've kind of lost enthusiasm for this game and don't really feel like continuing this Let's Play. I just want to get far enough along to develop another engine and show kind of the flaw of the system. And we're going to call this Nightmaster. Why not? 2D graphics. Since it's an RPG, story and quest is going to be more important. Engine is probably going to be the least important part. So, let's drop the engine down here. Increase it just to about 20%. Now we have a lot more in design than we have before. And then again, dialogues are going to be more important. Level design, however, can be dropped down. There, I think that's close to 20. Now dialogues are going to develop more design points, not as much technology. AI is going to give us most of the technology points we need. We'll tone graphics down a little bit, up world design. Actually, we'll up world design by that much, put this one down here, and we'll see how it goes. So I think we have achieved a new high score in design, which is what it's all about, getting a high score. Hey, new record! Like I said, getting a high score. Now, there is some importance in leveling things up, I guess. And these leveling up, it'll give you more points when you're working on that particular section. And I guess leveling up your character will also give you some points. Like maybe you generate points faster or something. I don't know. There's not enough input. I need feedback, input, give me data. Give me pie charts, graphs, numbers. You shouldn't forget about level design. Oh well, whatever. In fact, I bet if I go into the help menu and take a look at things. See, contracts unlocked. Game points. Game points are divided into design and technology points. The more points you generate, the better the game will be. That's what it's all about, generating more points. That is what decides if a game is good or not. From time to time, there will also be bugs generated. These points become less likely once you gain experience. Bugs need to be fixed before the game is released and increase development time and cost. The additional features makes the game generally better. How does it make it generally better? It increases the chance of developing extra points. That's how. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all that there is to us. Well, let's go ahead and develop a new game right away. This one's going to be alternate history, adventure game, which adventure is such a broad category it needs expanding on. Washington the Werewolf. Okay, Washington the Wolf. Since you can't fit bigger titles. Start development. Adventure game, not as much into the stories and quests, more into the engine. The entertainment system is out, and I will be able to create a new engine soon. We'll tone down the dialogues. In fact, both these can be toned down. Just put a lot into the AI. Wow, that barely generated anything. Well, this one isn't going to be that great. We didn't break any high scores, so it's going to be rated lowly because, you know, it's not as good as any other game we came out with. But we can make a new engine. That's all that matters. That wasn't even a great combo. So let's create a new engine. First we need to research it. And like I said, this is going to be rated poorly because we didn't break any of our high scores. Really bad. It's so horribly bad, you might as well drown yourself in... I don't know. Plastic. So this is going to be the last episode I make for this. Create a custom engine, add all the options that we can. The Infinity Engine, why not? Actually, let's take out the linear story and quest. We want to save a little bit of money. We do, after all, have to create a new game. Excuse me. Alright, so let's develop a new game. This time it's going to be sports simulation on the G64 using the Infinity Engine, using better graphics, Ping Pong Master, why not? And immediately we developed a bug. But, hey, good news, we're going to add save games to this one, so we're going to get a lot more points from the engine. Bump that up, bump this up to here. Now let's see if we achieve a new high score. Oh no, my bank account is in the red. Will this be the game that pulls me out of the toilet? Quite possibly. I think I'm gonna get a new high score in technology. Gonna bump sound up a little bit. Not much, just a little bit. Bump that down. There we go. Sure, why not? I'll take some time. I'll develop hype for my game just because it will. And there we go. We have new high scores on both of these, which means it's going to be a great game just because we beat our high score. Alright, let's go ahead and research new topic. Pirate game. Ta-da! New records on both of those. Is this game going to sell well? According to the wiki, it will. Let's see if the wiki's right. If it's right... Hey, a 7. Another 7. Another 7. And this is probably going to be another 7. Hey, I was right. And we're in the green again. So, yes. The game sells well because we broke our high score. Will a game that doesn't break our new high score sell as well? Probably not. Will it come close? It could. But it probably won't. So the wiki's right. All that matters is where you put the sliders in relation to what type of game you're making, and how much features you have in your game. That's all that matters. And that kind of ruins the game for me because I thought I could just go ahead and create a game that actually was good. But no, it doesn't matter if the game is good, it matters if it develops enough points. And that makes me sad. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this series. I still recommend getting this game simply based on the fact that it is a pretty decent game for $8. And hey, you can do some pretty funny things. You can create a game called Toilet Warriors of Oz, and it can be a hit game and earn you like $10 million. And then you can create a game called, I don't know, Mass Effect and get like $1,000 for it. So, hope you guys enjoyed.